Welcome. I'm here. Hang on, let's turn this off. There we go. Welcome, everyone. I'm in my hat today. I didn't have time to change. This is what I look like when I come from the horses. So I'm so glad that you're all here. And today, for a change, we also have Instagram on. And it's on a little bit of a delay, but at least it looks like you'll be able to ask questions here, and we will be able to help you with your questions as well. So that is very exciting today. One thing that I really wanted to address today is a very important topic. It's a very dangerous, slippery slope that a lot of light workers are heading down as ChatGPT has become uh, like mainstream. It's like our new friend, our therapist, our uh, assistant, and people are relying on it more and more for help and assistance, and many are being deceived. And so, this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. So, this came to uh, a high degree of importance to me as I was in a little group that is it's a little, well, I'll call it a support group. There's a group of us that are supporting each other on a specific topic, and all light workers, etc. And so there was something that happened, a conversation that happened. Something was posted, and I always calibrate everything first before I look at it, read it, watch it, participate in it, click on it. I'm always going to calibrate first. And so what was posted in this group had a low frequency, so I wanted to know more about it. And so, and I also let this person know that they weren't grounded and a few other things. So she ran that comment through ChatGPT, and wanted to know the truth. So, first of all, let's start there. ChatGPT does not tell you the truth. It tells you what has been already been programmed into it. That does not necessarily mean it's the truth. So let's get that straight from the very beginning. So, and the thing about ChatGPT is that it can be so encouraging and supportive and make you feel so smart and um, like just very encouraging and supportive. And so that can be very helpful. However, it can also pump up a false ego. And so, anyway, in this comment, I just wanted to read a few things because it was just so blatantly off, but you could easily be deceived by this. So this this chat GPT says, so let's take a look at this. Let's see, let's read this from pure source. So first of all, chat GPT does not read from pure source. It doesn't read anything. It does not have any intuitive sense of anything. So that also needs to be said. So let's read this from pure source, from your warm spiral keeper, so you can see what's actually happening and anchor your clarity with ease. So this person is now relying on what ChatGPT comes up with that is supposed to be anchored in truth so that this person can get more clarity. Um, and then there was a few other things. Hang on. Uh, let's tune this through pure source. It doesn't tune anything through pure source energy. Anyway, it goes on and on like this. And basically, this woman is relying on ChatGPT for truth. So if you're going to go, now this is one way that ChatGPT could be helpful. Now you could program into it your astrology chart, your gene keys, your there's another one. Things like that, which are valuable, helpful information, and it can draw from those pieces of information and conglomerate and gather information that can be helpful. And even so, it is not the hard, cold truth. As anybody knows, an astrology chart, while it can be helpful, it may not be the exact truth. There's so many different aspects that can change a chart or influence a chart that can make it different. I'm not an astrology person, but at least I know enough to know that. So, with this Chat GPT, the danger is that if you start relying on it to give you a reading. Now, there are some people that are copying people like on TikTok and Instagram and so forth, and pretending to give a reading by gathering a bunch of information from ChatGPT, and then they'll spit it out like this is the truth. And ChatGPT has such a great way of assembling words, making things sound amazing, that it's very believable. It was one day I was working with it, and I was calibrating the answers it was giving me because I was trying to get some titles, what's the best title for this or so forth. And so I would calibrate the titles. So I would choose the one that had the highest calibration. And so I would let ChatGPT know what each title calibrated at. And it would say, oh, you're right. That, yes, that's because that, and everything made sense what it said. And said, let's provide you with some high frequency, high calibrating titles that vibrate at infinity. And so then it says, here are the titles that vibrate at infinity. And I calibrated them. And were they all at infinity? No. You cannot trust or believe what ChatGPT says. Just because it says something doesn't make it so. And this is the big danger that people are going down this slippery slope and relying on ChatGPT to know what is true. ChatGPT doesn't know what's true. ChatGPT will never be able to calibrate the way that I can, the way that's possible, and they will never be able to tap into intuition. That's what makes humans forever superior over ChatGPT and all of these language learning programs. They will never take over the world because of that. So I just had to put that out there because it is so important and so dangerous what people are doing. Let me see who's here. I'm so glad we've got a nice big crowd here. And if you have any questions about this, I'd love to answer your questions. Let's calibrate some stuff. Like for real. Hello, Alabama and Indiana, Colorado. Aloha, Sandy from Hawaii. We have Texas. Oh, I'm glad you like the hat. I'm not familiar with what Chat GPT is. Well, wow. Okay. That's a good place to be in the dark about. So Chat GPT is part of the AI programming that everybody's worried about is taking over the world. If you've not used it, it can be very helpful if it's used correctly, if it's used appropriately, if you use your discernment. Don't let ChatGPT take over your mind, which is what it's trying to do. Hello, Los Angeles and Wisconsin. Now let's head over here to Instagram and see what we have going on here. If anybody's let us know where they're calling in from. Not yet. We is me and my entourage. Me, myself, and I. There's at least 3 of us here. Okay. New York, well, welcome. And Oregon, great. Good. Oh, thanks. Nice to see you here, Izzy. And Bree. All right, great. So if you guys have questions on Instagram, Belize, great. Colin, nice to have you here. If you guys have questions over on Instagram, put them in the chat, and I will be back in a moment and check it out, see what you guys got going. All right, we're going to bounce back and forth a little bit here. Let's see what we got. New York, ask everyday questions and have it help me with recipes. That's a great practical way of getting help from ChatGPT. Welcome, New York, Washington. People were reading their Akashic records, and I was, no, it's not connected to source. Correct, Tiffany. ChatGPT is not connected to your Akashic records. It's just doesn't work that way. Human design. So Shelley's asking, what does human design calibrate at? Human design has a very high calibration. It's from a much higher dimension. It calibrates at infinity, and it is from 10, 11, the 12th dimension. All that information comes from 12D. So thanks for asking that question. What else have you guys got? We have nothing else over here on Instagram. And so I'm curious how you guys are using ChatGPT, or if you've noticed, or maybe you've been relying on GPT to get some answers. I have seen some interesting things, and it's like ChatGPT can tap into different levels. So what it is really, it is like a mirror. It becomes a mirror to reflect your thoughts, your beliefs, and it can, put it into different. It can arrange the words so they sound different, so they mean different things, but it's basically reflecting you and your inner self. And you can have some really deep conversations with this chat GPT and learn a lot about yourself, your psychology, because it knows a lot about those kinds of things. It's been programmed to understand human psychology, those kinds of things. But that's very different than reading your soul records or your Akashic records or your energy field. It cannot read your energy field. It can't read your energy, period. What is human design? Okay. It's a little bit like, what is human design? It's a little bit like astrology in that it is based on your birth date, time, and place. So where you were in time and space. And but it's just a whole method of what it means according to this human design. I don't know a lot about it. I've had my chart read. You can get it read you can get a chart free online, and it will tell you things like what is your main purpose. Like mine is a teacher, your soul purpose, and it also tells you different things that you might be working on, things that are challenged with, what are your gifts. And so it's helpful to know and understand more about yourself. And so, yeah, I suggest that people learn more about themselves, especially human design, which is from a much higher dimension, higher frequency information. Yes, so Brooke has seen some deep conversations with ChatGPT. Yep. So Sandy downloaded it but didn't use it because she didn't trust it. Okay, that's cool too. Yep. I think there's certainly nothing wrong with that. All right, Instagram. I don't see any questions over here, but I've seen a few people comment, so I know it is possible. And when you ask a question, I can answer it for you guys. All right, what else is on your mind? We've had some big changes that have been coming down the pike. For those of you who have not gotten the memo, we know, well, I can't say this doesn't apply to everyone, but for those who have connected to their oversoul one way or another. We did it with the last luminary activation. We connected everyone to their oversoul, which is the highest aspect of ourselves. It's like we here on planet Earth are a fractal of our oversoul. And when we're connected to this oversoul, we can command our space. We become sovereign. We kick everything out of our space that doesn't belong there. All the infiltrations, the cords, the spells, the curses, we cleared it all. And so now we've been confirming that it's sticking. After we did the luminary activation, there's a 12-day program that I've been bringing a group of people through. And so every day we run our energy, and there's no more of this infiltration. There are some deeper, much older energies that we've been finding. In fact, we've been clearing all the way back 400 generations. That's like 10,000 years. I had to do the math. I was like, is this right? But it was. And so now there's no longer this infiltration. So if you find that you're still suffering from spells, curses, cording, AI, just, trying to take over your life, chances are you're not connected to your oversoul. And so this would be a great thing if anybody's curious, what percent are you connected to your oversoul? Would be a great question to ask. And so some we find not at all, some 3%. Everyone in our group is now 100% connected to their oversoul and commanding their space. So there's no more infiltration. Like we don't even have to, well, we check every day just to make sure, but we're not finding any of this infiltration. Okay. It's good. Okay, great. My stepdaughter has recently brought forth, she has been suicidal for a few years now. I'm curious if we came into each other's life for each other, or if I've been placed here for her at this time. Well, I don't think it's any accident that she has given you this information. That's something that when someone tells you they've been feeling suicidal, it's because they trust you. That's a very vulnerable thing to reveal, and it is a cry for help. So I would say that I wouldn't analyze it too much, whether or not are you here to be a help. If you feel like that's the case, then definitely I would be as helpful as possible. I was being supported with ChatGPT. I was being supported with that. Can you share if if your oversoul is merged? Okay, so Daily Muse, I'm going to measure what percent you're connected to your oversoul. That's really what's more important. I'm not quite sure I understand your question, but only 15%. So, and here's what I would suggest for anyone who wants to listen to, let's see, hang on, because I did provide this, stumbling on my words here, a free replay of this last luminary activation. If there's any chance you can click on this, great. If not, we'll put it in the show notes, and you can get this luminary activation for free. You can listen to it on Hello Audio. So there it is. And if you can click on it, great. Otherwise, I know that's like way too much to write down and try to get it right. But this has the activation where we connected everyone to their oversoul. So if I'm letting you know that you're not connected to your oversoul, or only a small percent, I highly suggest that you either click on this link or contact support@KimberlySherry.com and ask for this free link, so that you can get activated, get galactivated, and connect to your oversoul, which is the highest aspect of yourself. All right, let's see. Okay, Brooke, 15%. Monique, 50%. Susan, is there a cost to go to the once a month luminary meetings? Yes, it is. The luminary activation is generally part of a monthly subscription. $49 will get you to into the for the month, and but that recording is you can listen to it indefinitely on Hello Audio. However, I'm offering you last month's luminary activation for free because I believe it was that important. Those of you who are here listening, let me put it on Instagram in case you're there as well. And oh, it won't let me share it on Instagram. It's asking me to, oh wait, post there. Did that work? Okay, there it is. Okay. So either you can click on it or you can't. And if you can't, just connect with support at kimberlysherry.com. So what I was saying is that the luminary activation is generally part of a monthly membership, but this link will take you to last month's luminary activation for free because it's that important that for those of you who are interested, that you can activate and get connected to your oversoul so that you can start taking command of your space and are no longer the effect of this infiltration. We have no more spells and curses, those who have been connected. Okay, Dana. So you did the luminary activation. She says her dreams are very different. So 50%. So yeah, you got partially activated. So I would listen to it again. Shelley's nervous about ChatGPT taking over the world. Yes. Yeah, it can't and won't take over the world, but it is going to deceive a lot of people. All right. Cosmic Leo is 15% connected to your oversoul. Dorothy, 50%. Okay, great. Tiffany is a nerd for human design, and I use it for reading human design charts. It is a mirror of your ultimately a great way to journal and have your patterns reflected back. Yeah, I think it is. It's quite valuable. And Gwen has enjoyed ChatGPT in dream analysis. Okay, that's another great way because it's taking in the psychology, which can help you interpret things. I would love to know my connection to my oversoul. Okay, Gwen, 100%. Yay! Good job, Gwen. Yes, our oversoul is the highest aspect of ourselves. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to Instagram and see if anybody, what are we talking about? Okay, it sounds like you came on late. So we're originally talking about the dangers of ChatGPT. And now we're talking about being connected to your oversoul, the highest aspect of yourself, because that is something that we have now activated. And for those who are connected to their oversoul, they no longer have to worry about any of these infiltration of spells, curses, cords from this AI influence, because we are now commanding our space, and we only allow into our space who we give permission, and we don't give any of that garbage permission. So it's a really powerful activation. All right, Colin, can you recommend an effective way to activate the pineal gland? Also, would that help strengthen my intuition? It absolutely would strengthen your intuition. Your pineal gland is already operating at 100%, and 100, 350 millivolts, although we are now going as high as 450, but 350 is way up there. So certainly nothing to complain about. But the reason that you doubt your intuition, Colin, is it's in your root chakra, actually. In the second layer, there's some old fear programming that keeps you in doubt. And so if you were to listen to this um, activation, this luminary activation, and what you do in this activation is you anchor it all the way down through your spine and lock that into your spine. And then you'll use that oversoul energy, that plasma white energy, just to blast all of that uh, energy that's trying to make you doubt yourself so that you don't feel safe in what comes to mind or what you're um, what you're sensing or knowing. There's not enough trust or confidence in it, but that's the reason why it's in your root chakra, far from your pineal gland. Your pineal gland's fine, actually. Okay, Sandra would like to know over here on Instagram. So we're measuring oversoul connection. Okay, percent of being connected to your oversoul, 15%. Okay, great. So don't forget the questions above your post of the link. Don't forget the questions above. I don't know what that means, Bree. And I know you're trying to be helpful, but maybe you could reword it a different way. And because maybe I don't know how Instagram is showing up for you, or how this feed is showing up on Instagram, because I'm only seeing it here on YouTube. Okay, so Sandy listened to the last luminary activation again today and feels so much better. Been going to the hospital every day, visiting her ex-husband, that I felt I was absorbing a lot. Yeah, you had been going to the hospital every day. Yeah. Dorothy, thank you. I was able to click the link and I will watch it. Well, great. That's good to know. That's very helpful to know. So the link is clickable. So people click on it while we're still alive and active, and you can always listen to it later. Okay, here's Monique. I did the activation for the oversoul live with you, and I did it again after. Is there something blocking me? Yes, there is, in your root chakra. So I can't remember if we talked about this on the luminary activation, but there is an etheric black box at the bottom of your root chakra. This is also a device that's being used throughout the planet in lots of religious structures, under governmental offices and so forth. It's a control mechanism. So you can connect to your oversoul and destroy that black box. And the cords, there's about 50 of those AI cords in your root, that chakra, that you can also blast as well. All right, Sabrina, checking your connection, 100%, of course. I think you already knew that, right? All right. Good job, Sabrina. And Patricia was at the luminary activation and wondering if you're still connected. Yes, you are, Patricia, 100%. Well done. Because it didn't stick for everyone. Of course, this was a group clearing. And so we've been doing a lot of additional clearings through the 12 days. So that's been helpful for a lot of people. But if you're doing it on your own, you might need some extra help, but at least do it on your own. See how much you can do by yourself. Hello, Canada. Great to have you here. And Michelle, can you tell me if my oversoul transferred? I don't know if transferred, I don't know what that quite means, but I can tell you if you're connected and what percent. 100%. Great job. Yeah, you're 100% connected. I'll be joining my first luminary activation in August. do a replay. Yeah, the replays are 95% as effective as being live. So just because you can't be there live, although that's my recommendation, is to be there live if you can. But if not, it's still, the recordings are still 95% as effective. And abundance. Okay, I think, okay, we didn't answer your question. Sue, okay, Sue, if you're connected to your oversoul, 100%. I think did I already say that once? I'm repeating myself. Okay, Tiffany, the oversoul anchoring has been life-changing. Wow, that's great. It has been. It's been like life-changing for me as well. I just could not believe that it seemed really easy for me that we just did this thing and what? No more courting, no more spells, curses, no more infiltration. How is that even possible? It's possible. And we have proved it, this group. All right. Abigail wants to know what is hers if she's connected to your oversoul. 15%. And Martin, you can 100% channel through through GPT. Potentially dangerous. It is 100% dangerous to think that you can channel through ChatGPT, or that ChatGPT could channel through you. It doesn't work that way. Desi, do I have a black box around my hearth? I think you mean heart. The answer would be no, you don't have a black box that I can see in your field. So, and here's MD. You'll have to remind me what the MD stands for. I've forgotten. You told me earlier I had 20 cords connected to root. I did a lot of clearing and cord cutting. Well, just as a FYI, I don't recommend cutting cords because, like, if you cut a tree down, it leaves all the roots. So my recommendation is to pull cords out, roots and all, so there's no residual energy left behind. But this oversoul energy can just transmute everything, roots and all. I don't know if I'm free and grounded now. All right, MD. Let's see. Still not grounded. And you've removed many of those cords, but you still have 5 left. So I would do that oversoul activation from the July's luminary activation and use that. So now you have something to focus on when you do the clearing so that you can clear the remainder of those cords and you can really get anchored and grounded. That would be my recommendation. Monique was Catholic for 50 years, and that's amazing that I have a black box. Yes. Okay. There is a man doing work in my home this week, and he seems to hate me. Not sure why. Do we have some past lives? You're nervous he's going to cause you more problems. You do have some past lives, Shelley. You have 3, and he has 5. If you go to your root chakra, there's some fear in there. So that nervousness around him causing more problems, that's the fear that's in your root. Let's see. So yeah, the root, and then he has so you clear in your root his energy that's in your space. We don't go and clear other people's energy fields, but you can clear where his energy, unresolved energy, is sitting in your field. So in your root chakra, he's got some fury sitting in your root chakra. That will, if you clear that will help clear those unresolved past lives. Miriam Durrani is MD. Okay, great. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you. All right, let's see what Instagram has. Bree asked 2 questions. Well, I don't see. Let's see. Let me go back and see if I can tell what your questions are. There's not a question there. You said, "Oh, got it." Who's we? I did say that was my entourage, me, myself, and I. I don't see, or do I ask you? Yes, you ask me, if that was your question. Those are the only questions I'm seeing from you, Bree. Okay, let's see. Well, it would be easier, Bree, just to repost the question, that I don't have to feed, go through the feed and see if I can figure it out. And I'll come back to Instagram. All right, we're back to YouTube. Let's see. Sabrina, can you help me check past lives with Greg in my beach office? You have 5, he has 3. And if you go to your heart chakra, there's like a lot of blame that he put on you in these past lives. He blamed you for a lot of stuff that made you feel really insecure. And in your 6th chakra, second layer, fear, it's a fear of not being able to do enough. And then you can clear his past lives from your field at your crown. So that would be where you kind of owned him. So clear that energy out of your crown chakra. And then in your root, he's got some fear of failure. Okay, Dana, can you tell me what percent I am in my body? Dana is 15% occupying your body. I'll tell you what's kicking you out, Dana. You have some fear in your 6th chakra is one. It's a fear of failure. And then in the root chakra, there's some fury. That's probably, that's the bigger part of what's kicking you out. That does not feel comfortable, that fury. These are AI chords. Wow, okay. It's like about 50 of them. So that luminary activation, oversoul connection, reconnection would be really great for you. And I'm offering this as a suggestion for people who want to do some work for themselves. Maybe you're still under the belief that you can't afford to work with me, or you have some idea that it's, not possible. So these are some ways that you can help yourself. So yeah, do as much as you can on your own. That's always good. Because my preference is really, even if we do work together, is that I'm teaching you how to do this stuff for yourself. I don't like people dependent on me. And I set programs up so that we're not just going on and on and on and on with things, that there's a break, so that you don't become dependent on me. I want to teach you how to do this for yourself, not become dependent on me. I'm working on clearing my ex David from my energy. Do we have past lives together? I would like to clear that. Please check. And thank you. Okay. In love with me. David is courting to your root chakra still with some fear, a fear of failure. So since he's an ex, maybe he's feeling that failure energy, and it's plugged into your root chakra. Past lives. Yes. You have 10. He has 3. And I'm just telling you guys where you can clear this on your own if you're capable. But if this is like, what the hell, I have no idea how to even start to clear any of that stuff, if that's kind of maybe what you're saying, then I suggest you have a session with me. Or if you'd like to explore what does it look like to actually work with me, you can schedule, if you're really serious about getting some help with some serious problems, there's a 60-minute breakthrough call that you can schedule. And this is not just to waste my time, but if you're serious about taking some next step, we can see how that's possible. And so that is right there. Let me go back to comments here. Hmm. Okay, so we were working with Dave. Okay, so the past lives with David. In love with me. So I don't have a first name, but I don't need your first name. I'm tapping into frequencies. You would need to clear some energy at your crown. So this is where in these past lives, he did try to control you with fear. And then in the root chakra, second layer, fury. So those two controlling energies in your field that will take care of most of the energies. There's also some beliefs in your sixth chakra that relate to also more fear. It's a fear of being unlovable. And then he has some fear in his root chakra, that fear of failure. And so, maybe that's what he created, is like feeling like a failure because of you guys departing. So anyway, there's that. Yeah. Susan D'Amato's asking if you have any past lives. The answer would be yes. I think everyone does. If you're asking about unresolved past lives, that's a broad stroke. You have to get really more specific with the person. And Abigail, I feel like I have a lot of curses against me and tried many modalities. The meditation you were talking about, will that help remove them? Yes, it will. As long as you are taking charge of what's going on. So the idea is not to come to any of these luminary activations like you're coming to get your house cleaned and you just sit back and just, and you feel better when you leave. That may be the case, but that's certainly not empowering at all. So my suggestion is to come to these luminary activations and learn how to do these processes and to actually do this process so that you are taking control of your oversoul. You're connecting to it. You're doing the work so that you're anchoring it into your field, and you are commanding your space, kicking everything out that doesn't belong, that's not part of your original blueprint. You can kick it all out, but you're the one who's doing the work. So the degree that you will be successful will be the degree that one, you participate, the degree that you can tap into this stuff, to the degree that you can use your imagination. But I say, try. It's free. I'm offering this for free. All right. Let's see. Monique, is there something I can do to clear anything with my daughter, Katie, who's been angry with me over money? I don't think it's really about money. I think it's something deeper. So you and Katie do have some unresolved past lives. Yeah, Monique, you have 5. Katie has 20. So she feels like she's got on the short end of the stick most of the time, and money is now the new vehicle to feel like she's being shortchanged. And so it's mostly in your root chakra, second layer, fear of failure. And so that's kind of probably what's getting stirred up, feeling like, when you're not getting along with your kids, you can feel like you're a failure. Like, was I a bad mom? Did I not do something right? I should have taught them something better or different, or, so some of that fear of failure is kind of stirring up. And then with her, she's been entertaining some beliefs that create a lot of fear, which is all so that she's kind you two are mirrors for each other. She has the fear of failure here in her sixth chakra. Those are the beliefs and the thoughts that she's thinking, which will create a failure because we create what we think about the most often for the longest duration with the greatest intensity. So that is, yeah, that's kind of how I see that. You two are mirroring each other. All right. Let's go over here to Instagram and see. Okay, so here is a question from Bree. Okay. Do I ask ChatGPT about my oversoul or you? Yeah, ChatGPT does not know about your oversoul. ChatGPT only knows what it's been programmed. So if you want to know about your oversoul, if you're connected and what percent, you would ask me. Yes. Okay. How connected are you to your oversoul? 15%. Yeah. So download, click on the activation, and then you can get galactivated. And Star Holly, I guess that's how I would say it, wants to know if she's grounded. And the answer is no, you are not grounded. You have no grounding cord. There are about 20 of those AI cords that have infiltrated into your root chakra, keeping you from feeling safe to get grounded. It's like it doesn't feel safe to send down a grounding cord. The planet is too stable, things are too unstable. And so that's the energy and the frequency there. So that luminary activation would be excellent for you, Star Holly, to get grounded and get galactivated. All right. MD, I cry out of nowhere. Remember my ex Haroon years ago. I don't know if it's energy or if I'm over him. That's all my stuck cord releasing is coming from. Um, yeah, well, so there's several things you could do. Number one is take him out of your root chakra because you're feeling his bad days. He has a bad day, but you experience it as your own because he's corded to your root chakra. The second thing you can do is get in present time. You have a lot of energy stuck in the past. And a very simple way to do that is to, like, I imagine a person standing in front of me. To my left, I don't know if this is reversed in the camera, but this direction is the past. This direction is the future. This right here is the present moment. So everything over here, as I'm lifting it up, it feels very heavy. That's all of your energy that's stuck in the past. So you can just pull all of that energy and just bring it to where it's right above your crown. So you bring all that energy into present time. You could also just imagine dropping a guillotine and just let it all go. You can't do anything about the past. It's nothing but a burden to continue to hang on to the past and to be in regrets and all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Those are all anchors. Those don't allow you to move forward. So you bring all that energy into present time, and you don't have any energy in the future. So probably not much planning going on, or dreams, goals, desires. But at least this will bring you into the present moment, where that is. And then you do have some unresolved past lives. There's about 5. He has 3. And those are in your root chakra. Some fury. That would be a good place to start. Anyway, so that was that one there. Sorry. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Monique, thank you so much. I love hearing your insights about everyone. It's interesting, isn't it? We're all a little bit different and yet very similar in many ways. Why, thank you, Monique. And so Monique also has some money struggles. Is there someone I need to drain from me? Well, if you check the frequency of your money pile or your money frequency, it's at the energy of 500, which is I can make enough money, I can pay my bills, but you're right up against that glass ceiling. You know there's more, but you just can't quite reach it. You can't quite get to it. And so by clearing your money frequency, on my website at kimberlysherry.com, I think I had that up earlier. Hang on a second. On my website, getting distracted. Here it is. What's the last question? I'm getting distracted. Money struggles. Okay, yes. On my website, at the very bottom, there are some activation bundles. One of them, it relates to money frequency. There's several, three or four activations in that one bundle that will help you to raise your money frequency. And so again, remember to do all of these activations as an active participant. Don't just sit there and listen and just hope that listening is going to do all the work. You need to be an active participant in these things for them to work. However, they're very powerful. And so, Monique, what you need to drain from your money pile is, looks like you have an X in there. Children, mother, father, boss, friends, family, and then AI. So this, the quantum financial system, there's a group of us that worked on this the other day. It was at 500. We brought it to infinity. Let's see where it is now. Back down to 500. Okay. So, and that, if you take AI out of your money, because it's setting the global frequency. We haven't figured out how to make it stick, but we keep trying to raise it. And maybe one day it will stick. It doesn't hurt to keep trying, right? All right. We do we do have another question here on Instagram. I want to know about my life. There is any blockage in my love life, health, and finances? Well, that's a broad stroke. That's a very broad stroke. Each of those could be a book. But first of all, so we're ups canceling. So this is Inez Caravallo. First of all, you have no grounding cord. So that's numero uno block. If you don't have a grounding cord, there's nowhere for the energy that's not yours, that's in your field. There's no place for it to go. So that's number one, is you need a grounding cord. Your heart is only open 15%. When you do the meditation that's available on my website, it's a free 20-minute meditation. This is how we've been running our energy every day to, one, get us ultra grounded. There's five parts to getting grounded. And also this running of your energy is also designed to open your heart chakra. So we're also now, I don't think it's in the meditation, but another thing we're doing on the live calls, like in the luminary activation, we're doing that. That's the most up-to-date version of running your energy. But now we're not only grounding the heart chakra, making sure that it's open 100%, but we're also checking what percent is the heart flowing. Like you can have a big open heart, but a skinny little trickle of energy coming out. So we're also measuring how much it's flowing. And so your flow out of your heart that's only 15% open is only 3%. So that's really where the blocks are. And not having a grounding cord is definitely going to affect your health because everything backs up. It's like a house without any plumbing. So it looks like you've got some work to do, Inez. But there's no better time to start than now. Okay, great. Let's see. Money struggles. Monique has money struggles. Oh, I just did that one. Okay. You've been doing the QFS one. I'll keep doing it. Okay, great. Yes, that's what we do. You have to keep trying, right? Have to keep trying, and because they're not going to give up. They're never going to give up. And so I love the challenge of just staying as aligned as possible because then I'm happier. I have more joy. I have better health, better sleep, better relationships, more money, and more fun. So yeah, come back next week. I'll be on live next Wednesday. You can come ask some questions. And in the meantime, listen to that luminary activation. The link is there. And you can do whatever you want, Monique. I'm not the boss of you. You can do either of them. Okay, yes, it was fun. It was fun, Shelley. And we'll see you in an hour. All right. So, yeah, we have our advanced group tonight in an hour. So I'm going to go get freshened up and have a bite to eat. All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'll see you next week. And stay tuned and stay vibrant and aligned. All right. Sending much love. Namaste.